Alright, well, we're here for my very first recorded draft. We're going to do a Theros 8-4. Hopefully everything will go well, and we can get this draft started. Alright, here we go. Alright, this is a pretty interesting pack. The notable first pick things would be Grey Merchant, very powerful card. Sip of Hemlock is alright, but I wouldn't want to first pick it. Rage Blood Shaman, the rare. I haven't had any experience with it. Maybe it would be worth taking just to get practice with it and know how good it is. But if I was at somewhere like a Pro Tour, I wouldn't first pick this without having had experience with it. Shipwreck Singer can be really awesome, but I don't want to dedicate myself to black-blue just yet. But like if it wills, that's a powerful option to consider, or if I get one in a later pick. Coordinated Assault's really good. It's great with Heroic, maybe in red-white Heroic would be the best with like Wingsteed Riders and other things like that. Ordeal of Thassa, it's one of the better ordeals. I don't know if it's the best, but it's definitely not the worst. But all that, I think it's just going to windmill slam this Grey Merchant. Alright, the best cards in this pack are Leaf Crown Dryad, which is a pretty amazing card, and Battlewise Hoplite. I think the rest of the cards, there's some solid things like this Scrymera, it's okay. Rage of Perforos is usually underwhelming because it's 5 mana for 4 damage. It doesn't kill the things that you want to kill on curve. Read the Bones is really good. Maybe it's worth taking it to cut black and just try to build around Grey Merchant since it's such a powerful card. Though I do believe Leaf Crown Dryad is better than Read the Bones. Maybe I should just go with it. That's a really tough one. If I'm playing black, though, with Grey Merchant and Heavy Devotion, I don't think I want to be green-black. Though it is a possibility. I'm going to take the read the Bones and stay on target, and hopefully things will work out from there. Just fine, because best cards in this pack would be Griptide, definitely. Stone Shock Giant is really good. If you can set up a position, usually you can have him out, and when you get to 8 mana, you can just win the game. Centaur Battlemaster, it's pretty solid also. Had I went with the Dryad last pick, it would be heavier. Shredded Winds is alright, but it's definitely just a sideboard card. I'm not going to be picking up sideboard cards this early. I think the best card in this pack, by a long shot, is just this Griptide. So I'm just going to pick this Griptide and not look back. Alright, the best cards here would be Dissolve and Time to Feed. This Warcolor is alright if you end up in a Minotaur deck, and there's been these guys floating around, which are Minotaurs, and works out pretty well sometimes. And Nylea's Disciple is pretty solid also, but I would rather pick, I think Dissolve's the best card in this pack anyway, and it lets me stay on color with the Griptide, so I'm just going to do that. I don't see a huge argument for going any other direction with it. Alright, it's cool that there's a Baleful Eidolon this late. Sometimes he goes around really late, and it just happens. Depends on the draft. Not like a big sign or anything. Black's not necessarily wide open or anything. There's also Aqueous Form I wouldn't even really consider for a deck that's looking like I'm making. Vaporkin's not good if I want to go like more control-y with the Dissolve and Read the Bones and a Grey Merchant. I really need black permanents to add to my devotion. Maybe I can pick up another Gray Merchant. Definitely not going to be happening in this pack. Highly unlikely anyway. There's nothing here for blue really that this deck wants, and this is the best black one. The rare is okay too, but that's just way less important than the Eidolon, so that's what I'll be doing. Oh wow, Nessian Asp here. That's a really strong sign for green being open. Green has seemed fairly open in the past few packs anyway, so maybe I just take this. That's a really tough one between Nessian Asp and Return Phalanx, but black-blue seems open also, and I don't want to go off on a tangent hoping that green is open enough. Actually, black hasn't been all that open. Maybe I take the Asp and consider going. I'm going to take the Return Phalanx. It fits into what I'm doing, and hope everything goes fine. Alright. Here, it's really between a second Dissolve and Triton Fortune Hunter. I don't have any way to target Triton Fortune Hunter, and I don't think I want 2 Dissolves. So that's kind of a tough one. I am going to go with the Fortune Hunter, and maybe I can pick up something. I can target him. If not, then he might not even make it in the main deck, but I think it seems like the best option for right here. Given that I already had a Dissolve. If I didn't have Dissolve, I would pick that over Triton Fortune Hunter. Here, Cavern Lampad. That's a pretty easy pick for me. I want to get more black devotion and build up into a good Gray Merchant. What I'm also looking for would be things like Voyage's End to help bounce Gray Merchant and shenanigans like that. It's pretty neat that Omen Speaker will. That'll pretty likely make it into the deck, so it's a pretty useful pickup. Wow, Battlewise Hoplite Wield. I guess there's not someone playing White-Blue Heroic. I actually like this Hoplite. Like, okay, Gainsay is a decent sideboard card, but I feel like I can get more, or just have the Dissolve. It's possible that I'll go into White-Blue Heroic even, if it's that open. Black doesn't seem super open, and there's very little cost for picking this up here, so I don't see a big reason not to. I'll take a Commune with the Gods here. I might end up. I doubt I'll use it, but I'll pick it up. It's really between these two guys. I like this more than that, but neither one's spectacular. Probably not playing either. I'll take a Stymied Hopes. Seems more likely to see play than Yoke Docks. Let's hide some things and see where we're at. Alright, Chain to the Rocks is alright, but it's not as great in draft. A second Gray Merchant I will happily windmill slam, because multiple Gray Merchants is just where it is at. Now that heavily pushes me to pick up anything with a black mana symbol that I can play. The other good cards, I guess, would be God's Willing, but I wouldn't really want to first pick that anyway. Sedge Scorpion's alright, but this guy's alright. This guy's fine. The Evangel. Fade into Antiquity is a good sideboard card, but for how my deck's looking, black-blue, the only thing here for me is this Gray Merchant. It's not even really a question. There's an Ashen Rider. It's a cool mythic, but it's not really what I'm looking for from my deck. Plus, you know, 8 mana. It's kind of ridiculous, so not really considering it. Blue and black, there's nothing here in this pack for us. Well, really nothing. I could take the Scourge Mark and maybe use it to trigger the Fortune Hunter. And I guess it draws a card, and it is a black mana symbol, so black permanent as the devotion. Yeah, seems about the best thing that I can do. Well, there is a Read the Bones and a foil Read the Bones. If it comes down to Read the Bones, I'll know which one I'm taking. Boon of Erebos is alright, but it's better for an aggressive deck than defensive. This is definitely looking like a more defensive, control-y type deck. I don't want too many Read the Bones, because the life loss can be relevant. Especially if I can't get enough devotion for Grey Merchants. If I get enough devotion, then the life loss isn't that big of a deal, because I just gain it back with Grey Merchant. But yeah, I mean, it's really like Demonic Wall. I can pick that up later. Lost in the Labyrinth isn't exciting. I don't really want Thassa's Bounty. So it's Read the Bones and Boon of Erebos, and Read the Bones just fits into this type of deck so much better. So, taking that. Oh, wow. This is a really strong pack for blue. There's Griptide, which is amazing. Triton Tactics, which is also amazing. And Dissolve. That's a really tough one. I don't think I have enough creatures yet to utilize Triton Tactics. I don't really have enough creatures for Scourge Mark, but I'm hoping to fix that. Having multiple Griptides is just very powerful. I feel like with how Dissolves have been going around this draft, I might be able to get another one later. Griptide, it's just too good to not pick up here, I feel like. Yeah, it's just too good. This is one of the things that I've been looking for. It's double black, which helps for the devotion a ton. Gives me another 4-drop. It's pretty solid defensively. The only other options for my deck for this pack would be Omen Speaker, which is alright, or Wave Crash Triton. This Wave Crash guy, he's pretty solid, especially if you can have enough heroic ways to like target him. You can keep things tapped down, but he's never been that impressive in my experience. The Hippocamp, meh. Sometimes the Wanderer can lock something down, but he never really does the work that you want him to do. So it's pretty easy to decipher here for me. Oh wow. Do I want Griptide number 3? To the Griptide number 3 or Sealock Monster? Sealock Monster. Ooh. That's a tough one. Could be too slow to have that many Griptides. I haven't seen any other black kill spells yet that I've been able to pick up. Like the Sip from the first pack. Didn't will. I haven't seen any Pharika's Cure. I don't know if I'm going to see a Sip, so having another Griptide I think is just what I'm going to do, though the monster might be the right pick here. It's kind of interesting to see a Nimbus Naiad this late. But yeah, that's a pretty sweet pickup for me. Lets me just have an early guy or make one of my later guys a huge threat. Even making a Grey Merchant a 4/6 flyer, that's really solid. So I'm just going to pick up this Nimbus Naiad. I don't really see an argument for anything else. Maybe the Viper's Kiss, because it adds a devotion, but that's just not on the same power level at all. Cavern Lampad's okay. It lets you push through a lot of damage with the Intimidate, but I'm less worried about that. Tormented Hero is better for an aggressive deck. I'm not really looking for that. Erebos' Emissary, it's really great because it always threatens to be bigger than whatever the opponent has. It's really hard to block, and it's really hard to attack into. So I'm just going to take this and make combat difficult for my opponent. Here are the picks between, I guess, an Anvil Raptor and the Centaur. Neither which are too great. Can pick up a Thassa's Bounty in case I want one. Occasionally, it's not a bad card to play. I'm going to take the Centaur. It adds to Devotion. Sometimes I guess it could work well with Grip Tide also, so that's a plus. Getting really crowded on the 4 spot. Don't want too many of those. I think this is a better card than the Bronze Sable, but I don't have many 2-drops yet, and I might end up playing it. I really don't want to play a Bronze Sable. I'm going to play... I think I'll just pick up this Coastline Chimera anyway, actually. And just really look for low mana black permanents if I'm after. I'll pick up one Thassa's Bounty. It's not that bad. Dissolve came back around. That's probably going to make it into the deck. Take this. Pick up a few last cards in this pack, and hopefully it'll all come together in the next pack. So far, it's not off to an amazing start, but it's looking like we can definitely get there. The Devotion is definitely not going to be as high as I would like it to be for double Grey Merchant, but that's the way it happens sometimes. Best card for me, I think, hands down, is the Sea God's Revenge. This card's amazing. Maybe we can will this Fleshmat Steed. Feels so bad to say that. But we need low-cost black things, and that's a low-cost black thing. Fnatic Amogus is pretty solid. Stone Shock Giant again. This guy's impressed me whenever I've seen him in a white-black deck. You can just grind games out. I guess it's a she. But, you know, nothing really here for us other than the Sea God's Revenge, so I'll take it. Alright, this is pretty nice. Insatiable Harpy, double black costed, that's exactly what we need for Devotion. It's a pretty solid card on its own anyway. It's... Reaper of the Wilds is pretty good. I don't think it's worth splashing green in this deck just to get it, and we need the double black cost for Devotion. That's really important with 2 Grey Merchants. It really does suck that our 4-drops are loaded down. I guess the Sea-Lock monster probably would have been better than the 3rd Grip Tide. Looking back, I've got a little Grip Tide happy there, so we'll see how it works out, though. I believe just want this Insatiable Harpy. Lash of the Whip here is alright. It's either Lash of the Whip or Nimbus Naiad, I believe. Maybe Wave Crash Triton, just to try to be more defensive and stall out and get more value from Grey Merchants and try to go long. But that one's a pretty tough one, actually. Lash of the Whip can actually take a creature off the board, and I don't have, like, it can actually kill a creature on its own. I don't have that effect yet. I would like that. I don't think it's as good per se as Nimbus Naiad or Wave Crash Triton. I'm going to take it though. I think this is what's more important for the deck right now. And here's a Sip of Hemlock, which is exactly what I was looking for in that Lash of the Whip. Maybe I should have held out and taken the 3-drop there. If one of the 3-drops in the last pack had been black, I definitely would have taken it, just because Devotion. Devotion's really important. We don't have strong Devotion in this deck. Other than Sip of Hemlock, there's a Null. I wouldn't be against playing in a Null in the deck, but Sip of Hemlock just seems more important. I guess I can take Viper's Kiss here. It's nothing I'm too excited about. I'm not going to be this. It's not an Aqueous form deck. Maybe the Asphodel Wanderer is a little bit better. I could actually see playing it more often than Viper's Kiss. So yeah, I'll pick up this Asphodel Wanderer. It's probably not making it in the deck, but I'll take it. Oh wow, another Insatiable Harpy. That's pretty good for setting up for Grey Merchants again. And there's nothing else here really for us other than maybe Benthic Giant, but yeah, you don't want that many high cost things. I'm probably not even going to play the Thassa's Bounty considering I have 2 other 6-drops. Ooh, Scrymera or Gainsay for the sideboard. I think this is a main deck worthy card. Let's see what we would really be playing. I think this fits into the deck. Gainsay would just be a sideboard card, so I'll pick up the Chimera. Alright. I guess we might want a Benthic Giant on the sideboard. It's unlikely that we'll use it, but I'll pick it up. None of these cards are particularly exciting for anything. I guess the worst one for us to play against would be this Agent of Horizon. I guess. Hate that on out of here, I guess. Shredding Ones is good for us. I'm really not going to want 2 Asphodel Wanderers or another Breaching Hippocamp that I'm probably not going to play anyway. So I'm just going to take the Shredding Ones. Here I'm just going to take the Spell Chimera for my collection. Nothing there really matters. Let's pick up some cards. Alright. So it went alright. I would have liked to have more 2-drops, particularly black permanents, but maybe it'd be right to play the Scourge Mark. We'll see how it looks. I'll add all the black and blue cards. And start cutting things. Alright, 14 creatures. The only heroic guy is the Fortune Hunter here, so I don't think Scourge Mark is worth it. And I guess just the worst card here would be between Cavern Lampad and Return Centaur. Considering the Centaur more so because of the 3 Griptides, it combos pretty well. A 4-mana 2/2 is really pretty bad on the defensive, and my offensive is likely just to be in the air with this Chimera and some other things, and maybe the Nimbus Naiad can just give flying to something and let me push through that way. I don't know if I need the Lampad to push damage in. Though the Bestow could be pretty valuable. I think I'll leave the Centaur in the sideboard for now and bring it in against maybe the Gods or more aggressive decks where I'm not going to have time to use the Lampad as effectively. So, sort by color and add land. It's just 10-7. That seems about right, actually. Sort by converted mana cost. I do have double blue that I want to hit soon, so I'm going to do 9-8. That seems fine, because the double black here is more important, and I need double black to function. The deck can function moderately alright without double blue. So, I'm going to do this. And we'll see how everything goes in round 1.